My paladin have the gear to compete in Phase 5 in AQ40? That's a great question, and I'm here to help you out. We'll go ahead and start with the helmet. You have 3 great options and 1 okay option. Deviate Growth Cap and Crystal Adorned Crown are from world bosses, and they're very good, but good luck getting them. Mishunder, Circlet of the Mind Flayer from Nefarian is also a great option, but that's probably going to go to Warlocks or Mages before you. So you're left with an insightful hood from Chorush the Observer and Dire Maul North. It's not on the same level as the other options, but it's far easier to get, so it's probably what you're going to be rocking in AQ40. Don't forget your enchant from ZG for your helmet. Now, neck pieces wise, Jindo's Evil Eye is probably where you're going to be. You want to Choker the Fire Lord? Probably not going to get it. Your mages and warlocks are going to get that before you. So aside from Jindo's Evil Eye and Wavefront Necklace, if you want to go through the hassle to get that, I wouldn't. I would just get Jindo's Evil Eye. If you can't do that, or you just have bad luck like me, get the Animated Chain Necklace from Ramstein the Gorger and Strat Undead. It'll do just fine until you find Jindo's Evil Eye. Now shoulders, there's not very many good options here, so hopefully you have the Wild Growth Spalders from Molten Core. If you don't, well, you're going to take a major downgrade in all the other options, so hopefully you do. Don't forget your ZG enchant for this slot as well. Now backwise, you could go with a Shroud of Pure Thought or Hide of the Wild. Shroud of Pure Thought is probably better most of the time going to AQ40, but it's also going to be a lot more difficult to get because every healer probably wants it. So I would just go ahead and craft a Hide of the Wild and not feel too bad about it. For your chest piece, you have basically 2 options. Robes of the Exalted from Strat Undead. Pretty easy to get, no excuse not to have them. And then you have the option of using the Robe of Volatile Power from Gehennis in Molten Core. It's probably better than Robes of the Exalted, I guess depending on who you're talking to. I would personally like to have the Robes of the Exalted on hand regardless, because they're just so easy to get. And then depending on your guild and how fast you do your instances, you can be the judge there. Don't forget your Greater Chest enchant, +4 stats. Don't be cheap about it, it makes a big difference. Now wrists, you have basically 2 options. The best being the Loomguard arm braces from Kirtonos the Herald from Shalomance, however you want to say it. Those are the best options. Other than that, you can get the Gallant wrist guards from the Dire Maul guards and of course Dire Maul. Don't forget your healing enchant for your bracers or your Greater Intellect. Personally, I prefer healing, but your mileage may vary. Legs, you have 2 choices here. Empowered Leggings is the best in slot from Cro-Mag. You're probably going to have a hard time getting these. Another option would be Salamander Skull Pants from Molten Core. Not as good as Empowered Leggings, but still great. If you don't have either of these, you can get Padre's Trousers from Dire Maul West. Not as good as the other 2 options, but those are going to be hard to get. A lot of competition. Don't forget your ZG enchant here as well. Now for hands, Hakar and Zolgarub drops your best piece here, the Peacekeeper Gauntlets. That's where you're going to want to be at when AQ drops. If that's not happening for you, Harmonious Gauntlets from Dire Maul North are still an option. Cro-Mag also has the Taut Dragonhide Gloves, but you really want Hakar to be a kind filler and drop his Peacekeeper Gauntlets. Waist-wise, just go ahead and spend the money on a Corehound belt. No reason not to at this point. It's the best option. There are other options, but they're not worth talking about because you should just have a Corehound belt. Now for your boots, Boots of Pure Thought is where you want to be for AQ40. That may not be possible, but it is definitely better than the other options. You could get the Boots of Full Moon from Captain Cromcrush and Dire Maul again, or the Verdant Footpads in Strat Undead. Those probably aren't worth the hassle to get, so just get the Boots of the Full Moon if you don't have Boots of Pure Thought. And of course you'll want the Minor Speed enchant for these as well. Now for your rings, Fordring Seal from the In Dreams quest. That's an easy get, you can solo it, you should have it. And hopefully you'll have either a Pure Elementium band or a Cauterizing band for the other slot. If you don't, there's a couple other options you can go for, but they're just not on par with these 3 rings. Trinkets, you'll basically want to carry all of these with you and just switch them out as the situation dictates. Your Rejuvenating Gem, it's easier said than done, right? If you have it, you're pretty much never going to remove this trinket, but good luck getting it. Shard of the Scale, hopefully you have this as well for the fights that's necessary on. Second Wind, Briarwood Reed, and Burst of Knowledge are all worth farming and having for this phase. Now main hands, of course you don't need me to tell you that you would prefer Lock of Mirror. Good luck getting that one as well. Good alternatives are Jindo's Hexer, Orstone Hammer, and Azursong Mageblade. Hopefully you have any of those. Are basically, close enough on par that I wouldn't fret about having one over the other. Although, you prefer to have Lock of Mirror, of course. The other ones are just kind of, secondary to that. But, you take what you can get, right? And of course, you'll want the 55 healing enchant here. Don't try to save money. It's very well worth it. Now, if you're offhand, the best option in general is going to be the Lee of the Life Giver from AFKing in Alterac Valley. If you can't do that, or you don't want to do that, you can go with the Red Dragon Skull Protector. It's a shield. It'll help on ads and so on. If you don't want to do that either, you'll have the Brightly Glowing Stone from King Gardock and Diremore North is also an option. If you get the shield, don't forget to put Enchantment of Stamina on it. Thank you. Have a great day.